This is the BK Lounge Podcast. Welcome to laughs, love, and crazy debates by your two favorite hosts, Burt and Kenny. Join us in talks about military life, relationships, golf life, and so much more. Your new favorite place to come hang out on Sundays. Introducing the BK Lounge Podcast, a Burts Beat Studios production. And now your hosts, Burt and Kenny.
Ooh.
What's up? What's going on, everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday, episode 12.
We're back.
A
Sunday.
dozen. It's a dozen. Dozen episodes.
Yeah.
We back. We missed you. We missed you last week. And we'll get into why. We'll get into the scoop of why we weren't here last week. Took a week off.
Took a little break.
A little break.
A little hiatus. It was Valentine's Day.
Also, how many episodes should we do for like a season?
What do you mean?
Like we're in season 1 technically. Like, do we have 24 or do we have 13? Is today the last episode of season 1? And do we take a hiatus in between?
We already took a hiatus, so is this
technically
episode 1, season 2? No, it's not. I feel like, I like the one
season per year?
Per year.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like before, like our 1-year anniversary for the podcast, then maybe we do like a break and then a big episode.
A big episode. Like a mukbang. We talked about it in the beginning.
A mukbang.
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 Okay. Chill.
It's just a funny thing to say.
Chill.
But yeah, episode 11 seems like forever ago. Because we took that little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah.
One weekend off. But I would love to recap episode 11.
You want to do it?
I would love to.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I just scrolled up in the notes to episode 11. Kenny is the producer. Are you the producer or you're the screenwriter? I'd say. I'm the producer, you're the screenwriter. Kenny takes care of all of the scripting of like what our topics are for the week.
I have good feng shui.
She does have good feng shui. She, likes to, weave it in from episode to episode. She also takes care of all of our social media. Kenny is in this. She is in this to win this. And I love that. I thought I'd throw that in there.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. You do a great job. I love it. Not last week, last episode. Oh, you have a question or something?
Nope,
input?
this...
Oh, just insert emoji.
Sure.
Insert emoji. Last episode, not last week, we talked a little bit about how our week, we were kind of having a tough week that week, and it kind of changed from crappy to good. We love those weeks. Those weeks are the best. Because it seems like, a crappy week, and it ends on like a high note. Those are good weeks.
Yeah, I'm here with you.
Okay, she's here with me. We went over some of the travel issues that I was going through, trying to get back in time. Mm-hmm. From my trip to Vermont for the military, kind of discussed some of the military stuff. We also can talk about that today, too, because we haven't really updated them much. But, flight issues, leaving small state Vermont, trying to get back home.
Yep.
Kenny's amazing, a weekend alone.
Yep, it was great. It was incredible.
Great. And then we talked about the bad eggs. And the bad egg thing, I thought it was going to be more serious. The eggs aren't bad anymore, and they're not expensive. Went to Target the other day. Got 18 of them. $5.99, Target. And I'm an expert, and I knew that they were good eggs because I could hold them up to the light, and if you can just see the nuclei of them, you can tell through the light that they're not sick eggs.
No, he sat on them in the Target aisle and just pretended like he was a chicken. And that's what makes him think that he's an expert.
You like that?
But you're not.
I'm an expert.
No, you're not.
We also answered a couple of questions at the end of last episode, And at the end of this episode, we've saved some time for some write-ins from our live audience over here on Twitch. So think of your questions. Don't ask them now. Hold on till the end. And we'll get to some questions at the end. Because a couple episodes ago, we were like, hey, we've got some questions. And it was just like crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be ready. Think of some questions, either off of other episodes or things that you've been wanting to ask us or things that pop up in your mind during this episode.
Yep.
And write them in, chat them in at the end of the episode. But that was a quick little recap, coop, thinking about the old chicken coop.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Magician.
Dramatic. Pause for dramatic effect.
Pause for dramatic effect.
But no, let's talk about where we've been. Why we didn't do our episode. All of that. Where have we been? What have we been doing? Why did we not do an episode? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say why we didn't do an episode?
I think you maybe start us off and then we'll, interact like we usually do on the pod.
Yep.
You know what? But just before we start, give me one of these.
Yep, dab it up, baby.
Dab it up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Pour one out for the homies. Yep. Right there. Thank you.
Homies.
Yep. Nice.
So, no, nothing bad happened. It was a Super Bowl. So we thought starting the podcast at the time of the Super Bowl wasn't ideal for our viewers, for us.
We were going to watch the Super Bowl.
And stuff like that. And it was a busy week. It was a kind of little bit of a crazy week. And then just one thing on top of another, from you getting back, we did the podcast on Monday, and kind of like what we were doing was just a little off. So we were talking about possibly doing it in the middle of the day on Sunday, and some things happened, and I went and had breakfast with one of my girlfriends and came back later than expected. And then we were going to our friend Burt and Kyle's for the Super Bowl.
For the bowl.
And kind of just got carried away with time, and to be honest, didn't really prioritize it.
No.
As best as we could have. But then we talked about Monday. So we were going to do it Monday. But through all of this, we didn't kind of publicize what was going on.
Yeah, we never really had like an in-stone time.
Correct. So we went and played golf on Monday, and it was freezing here.
It was cold. We had the course to ourselves, which was great. I love that.
Yeah, so we went north about an hour, played golf at one of my favorite courses.
Love it.
And came back and kind of just, at this point, we're just not on the same page, I would say.
Agreed. Because and I feel like we haven't had like 2 days off in a row together in a long time. Like, a while ago you'd have like Mondays off like consistently. Mm-hmm. And like with how busy you've been and how much you've had going on, like we haven't had that Monday together in a while. Mm-hmm. So I think that kind of threw me for a loop in a sense, because I'm still terrible with working from home and not knowing what freaking day it is. Mm-hmm. So that didn't help me.
Yeah. But no, so kind of had some difference of opinions on what we should do for the podcast. And since it was Monday, we had the day off. You needed to stream at some point, and usually on Mondays you're streaming around 5 o'clock.
Yep.
So, but at that point, just the communication between the both of us wasn't great, and led us into a situation where everything just kept getting pushed and pushed, and then we both had thoughts in our mind of how things were gonna kind of pan out.
Right. You had your thoughts, I had mine. Yeah. We kind of communicated them to each other, but not really.
Yep.
And we kind of thought like, oh, you're on the same page as me, and then I thought you're on the same page as me, and we really weren't. And that kind of snowballed into like, not an argument by any means, but just, again, a disagreement of what the expectation actually was. And it kind of put us both in the mindset of like, well, if we can't communicate and figure things out and like communicate right now with each other, how are we going to do that on the podcast?
Correct. And then at that point, we became fairly frustrated with each other. And if anybody that's in a relationship, when you get frustrated with each other, sometimes throwing yourself into a situation where you have to kind of put that behind you and be bubbly and interact and kind of put a face on, it's not that easy. And that was one of like our like rules that we set when we got into doing the podcast together, is we're never going to go into it with bad intentions with each other. Not that we had bad intentions, but we weren't connected. Right.
We weren't connected. We were kind of frustrated at each other. We were just I wasn't doing right for you. And if I can't do right for you and do right for me, how can we do right for them?
Right.
And we don't want to, like Kenny's saying, like, we don't want to come in here and be like, oh, yeah, such a great week. Like, everything's fine. Like, we weren't just, aggravated at each other 5 minutes ago.
So it's like this whole podcast is, like, based off of being transparent with each other, but also everybody else. It's just, like, it's supposed to be funny. It's joking. We talk about situations. But it was kind of just, like, a dark cloud over the two of us. And at that point, we're like, no, we shouldn't do this.
Right.
We both wanted to because we enjoy it.
Right.
But we were not in the headspace to actually do it. So we went on a bit of a little hiatus, and we had to figure our stuff out with, like, our bickering and communication and stuff like that. It wasn't anything serious or dark, but it was just more or less we weren't on the same page.
Right.
So we needed to kind of reset ourselves and,
Yep, and we did.
Get back into it and, gave each other space and went through the week, kind of reset. I actually was sick that weekend. I actually stayed home from work, which very rarely happens.
That was
a Friday.
Was that Friday?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was like Tuesday.
No, that was Friday before the Super Bowl. And so, yeah, just a little bit of life hit us.
Yep.
So rather than
come on here and either be bumps on a log and not like super into it like we normally are and we love to do it.
Right.
Or come on here and pretend like we're Gucci.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
No.
Because again, like Kenny said, the whole point of this podcast is you guys get an insight on us. And while we could have come in here and be like, oh yeah, with the Super Bowl, we just decided to take it off, give everybody a weekend off and not touch upon the true reason why we didn't have an episode. Like, we're gonna be as honest and open as we can with you all, because we want you guys to have an insight on what's going on with us, because we know that it probably happens to other people. Mm-hmm. It happens to other people all the time.
Yeah.
And it affects things. Like, it affects a lot of things. Like, if this was a conversation that we were having, like, before she went to work or before I got on stream, like, that affects me.
Right.
Like, I don't want to jump on stream after you and I just had, like, a disagreement or, like, we're frustrated with each other, because that's in my mind. It kind of just brings me down because I don't want that.
Right.
And, like, obviously it would have very much affected the podcast, and we didn't want that for y'all.
Yeah. So, I mean, our relationship is very much public in the sense of what we're doing on the podcast. So,
right.
We are human at the end of the day. And if everyone thinks that everything's so hunky-dory.
And you guys know it's not. We struggled with, connecting and communicating when I first got down here. It was all talked about on the podcast, and we've touched upon those same topics as we go, and we both can agree that things are getting better, and we've worked on things, as individuals and as a couple, and yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Shout out B. Holt. We love you, brother.
But yeah, so that's kind of where we've been. We had a couple people write in on, Discord and through our different platforms, and even on your chat being like, did you guys get canceled or what? No, we didn't get canceled.
Somebody said that?
Yeah.
Where?
They did on one of your chats.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I don't think we haven't said anything that would get us canceled.
No.
No?
Just your lemon chicken. The lemon chicken episode is
still our number one episode. I don't really like that, but also, it's not like we're sponsored by, like, Sara Lee, like a food company that would cancel us over that.
Lemon chicken?
Yeah.
No. Nope.
We're not getting canceled.
We're not getting canceled. We're not canceled. We're here. We took a little break.
Little day to reset, figure our own shenanigans out. And we did.
And we hadn't been doing it on Sundays, which is...
Sundays are literally our best day for it.
Yeah. And, like, we kind of got a little lax, and there was things that were happening and all of that, so it kind of just set a
precedence.
Yeah.
No, we didn't like. So again, we always try to do it on Sundays, and if we can't, we'll either pre-record it before Sunday and have it published for Sunday, or we'll try to do it on a Monday, because I think we both thoroughly enjoy doing it live, especially with the interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed, heard.
Agreed, heard. Heard.
But yeah.
But that's why.
That's why. That's where we've been. So if any of you were worried, we're back.
We're back. Podcast is still on. We're not canceled. We're still madly in love.
Yep.
Nice. Quick reply. I like that. Speaking of love and amazing transitions, let's talk about Valentine's Day. Oh, her heart just fluttered just thinking about it.
Yep. My heart is fluttering. I don't know if it's acid reflux or if it's my love for you.
I took my pill today.
Yeah, crazy. Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. I don't love it.
You're a liar.
No, you make it seem like I'm like, oh, Valentine's Day is coming up. Like, I'm gonna have rose petals everywhere and fill the house with roses, and on the bed there's gonna be a heart shape and rose petals. No. Is it a day where I can spoil you a little bit extra? Absolutely. Am I like fiending for it? Like, oh my God, only 300 and some odd more days till the next Valentine's Day? No. Do I surprise you with nice things randomly, not on a holiday?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. I don't wait just for the holiday to shower you in love. Do you love flowers?
Yep.
Do I get them not on Valentine's Day?
Nope.
Bologna sandwich.
When was the last time you got me flowers?
This is the second or third time I've gone to that same place.
When have you gotten me flowers that's not on a
The last time I got you flowers in that little like milk jug thing.
Yeah, you remember when that was for?
No.
My birthday.
Okay. All right, we're short one on the flowers. We're short one on the flowers of the non-holidays, but the showering of love happens on other days.
Mm-hmm. But if I was like a romantic, you would love Valentine's Day. The day would be full of red and pink and roses and the heart petal on the bed and you would eat that up.
I would. I mean, it's no different than how much you love Christmas. You love Christmas, so I love going crazy on Christmas. If you loved Valentine's Day, I would go crazy on Valentine's Day. I had a nice. John helped me out get a nice reservation at a steakhouse for Valentine's Day. That was something I'd never seen, like a super nice one. And then I was looking at getting you new pearl earrings, and then I was like, you know what? She's not all about Valentine's Day. I'm gonna keep it simple, and get her some flowers. And like I wrote in that card when I asked you to be my Valentine, I said nothing over the top, no cliches, no crazy gifts, just an I love you. And I kept it simple. I could have gone crazy, but I didn't, because I knew it's not your favorite day.
I think it's a dumb day. And if anybody follows my social media, you'll see that I didn't post on Valentine's Day for somebody in this room.
Yep.
I did it the next day.
And the caption was perfect.
You like it?
I loved it. And then I reposted it, and my sister hearted it, and she's like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I posted on my story a picture of us because he posted on Valentine's Day saying that he loves me. And sweet, great. Everybody was doing it. Floating down river. And then the next day I posted and I said, I love you more than yesterday.
Yep. And it was great. I loved it. I loved it.
And that's my point. Because I don't need a special February 14th every year to say that.
No.
And I don't.
No.
Because like every morning I get ready, I go to work, you're laying there, you're sleeping.
Here we go.
You're like,
here we go.
I give you a kiss on the forehead and you're like, reach out like I'm the good Lord. And I grab your hand and I say, I love you, bye. Love you, gotta go, bye. And you're like, love you. Bye.
That is actually how every morning goes.
And I kiss the dogs. Bo is usually crazy with me.
Yeah, Nash is still in bed.
Nash is still in bed. I give him a smooch and then out the door on my way.
Mama's got to go to work.
Oh, I miss you so much.
Don't say that. I say, oh, some mornings I say, oh, you look so pretty to me. I love you. Have a good day. Bye.
Your eyes are closed.
There are mornings I tell you look beautiful.
Oh, you are so beautiful to me. Your eyes are shut. Shut.
Because your face is just ingrained into my mind all the time.
Ugh.
So even when you're not here, I can just close my eyes and be like, dang, she is beautiful.
Crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, no, Valentine's Day stinks. Not a fan of it. But that doesn't mean I am heartless and that I don't love you.
Nope.
Or any situation like that. Because I know what he likes to do. I know he has a lot of love for me. I know he wants to celebrate his love for me any waking second that he can, especially on a given day, on a Hallmark holiday. He'll take it. So, I don't want to go out and join the floating down the river of everybody else. You know?
Yep.
And so, we got steaks. We got stuff to make dinner here.
Yep.
We had a nice little candlelit dinner in our sweatpants.
Yep. And she lit a candle. Yep.
I lit a candle for him.
Yep. It was nice. And can I tell the cherry on top? As to, like, I was thinking, like, oh, look, she lit a candle. She put, like, our plates out and she put the silverware out. And then when we sat down, what'd you do? We got steaks. She lights a candle. Like, there's the napkins next to the plate. Like, our utensils are out. I'm like, oh, this is great. Her flowers are sitting there. She sits down, absolutely lets out a belch. And we both just bust out laughing. Like, if that is not our type of Valentine's Day dinner, I don't know what is. It was amazing.
That is actually so funny to me.
It literally, like, as she's sitting down, just belches.
I look him dead in the eyes. I just let it out, and I'm like,
oh,
Happy Valentine's Day. And I was like, I could have never done that if we went to any fancy dinner. And I was like, and then I would have been uncomfortable.
Yep. Yep. And the morning that you left for Valentine's Day, she gave me a kiss. We did our little, it was the painting we were trying to reach. Yeah, that we did that. And then she walks out, and I'm still, like, rolling over, and I hear her come back in. I'm like, oh, she must have forgot something. And she gives me one of these. She's like, hey, Happy Valentine's Day. And then proceeds to walk out the door. I was like, hey, I got a Happy Valentine's Day.
And then I'm in the other room, and he's, like, telling the dogs that I do love him and that she loves Valentine's Day and that I'm romantic and all this stuff. And I'm like, stop talking to the dogs.
I talk to the dogs all the time. All the time.
Yeah, absolutely absurd. But no,
I think it was a great Valentine's Day.
It was a good Valentine's Day. It was very low-key.
It was our type of day.
I got you chocolates.
Yep, that I've been hammering. Dove, first off, make great soap, but also make great chocolates. Mm-hmm. She made milk chocolate with caramel in the middle. And they were, of course, Dove, they have, like, the writing on them, and whatever it's like for Valentine's Day, so it has, like, love notes in it, and I read them to her.
Yep.
Yeah.
And got bed sheets.
Yep, new bed sheets.
And
a little mat for the...
You got a Blackstone mat. Well, it's all of the gifts are for us.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't need anything.
I got you, right? That's all I need.
Yeah, exactly. Amen.
Amen.
Give me one of these.
Right there. Butter right there, champ.
Yeah. And got him a mat because I cook, obviously, based off of our previous episodes and what we know as a whole. And so the mat to our Blackstone, I got one for the side because what I do is I'll use all different utensils, and then I'm like, well, I have nowhere to put them other than just raw dogging on the side. And
yep, raw dogging on the shelf. And then it gets dirty, and I forget to clean it when I clean the top of it. And
yeah. So it's just a mess.
But no, it was good. And I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't like, oh, it's Valentine's Day, like I can't wait to see what she gets me. Uh-huh. Like I was like, nope, I got her flowers. I'm happy with that. Uh-huh. I got her a card a couple days prior, and I was like, this is good.
Yeah. So
not over the top. There wasn't rose petals everywhere. The house didn't have 400 candles in it lit.
Nope. I got some chocolates too.
Yep.
But you know that I don't really like chocolate, you
right.
know. But I like the Ferrero Rochers.
Ferrero Rocher.
So that was our Valentine's Day. I don't like Valentine's Day, but I'm not insensitive to the fact that you love it.
Yes, I enjoy the holiday.
You love it.
Okay. All right.
Yep, you love it.
All right.
There's no in between. You love it. So that's the tea.
The tea? Oh, pinky up. Watch out.
Yep.
Watch
so
out.
That's what we did for Valentine's Day.
For old V-Day.
It rained all week,
Yeah,
too.
our yard is disgusting.
Yep.
The dogs hate to go out there. Bo and his fluffy self comes back wearing like little mud boots, and I have to wipe them down. They hate going out there. Right when you get off of our deck, where the fenced-in portion is, it's just like standing water.
Yep.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Our front yard is just standing water right now.
Mm-hmm. But
Lake will be nice and high for summer.
it's actually, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta
They
get a scuba suit so I can scrub the tunes underwater.
No, because we still have a free lift.
Oh, I forgot about the free lift.
Yeah.
That's huge. Boat's gonna get cleaned. I love that.
So.
Love that.
But yeah, so that's what we've kind of been up to this past week.
Yep. Quick, I know it's not on the schedule. Rattle off some Super Bowl thoughts. Game, halftime, commercials. Thoughts.
Game, dumb, blowout,
Boring.
embarrassing for everyone involved. Happy that the Chiefs didn't win. Love that Tom Brady has a little spot in the back of Patrick Mahomes' head to really remind him that he is not him.
Tom Brady. He'll never be Tom Brady.
And Tom Brady was one of the commentators.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool. Commercials, mediocre. Some were weird.
Kind of disappointing on those.
Some were very strange, weird.
Like you see it and it's like, you paid $8 million for that?
Right.
Come on.
Halftime show, trash.
Like the whole like, oh, he's dissing Drake. This is crazy. Like, yeah, it's crazy and wild. And like there are supposedly some other messages in there, but I was just there for the music and
the entertainment.
Yeah.
Like the entertainment standpoint is like, isn't it supposed to be for all viewership? Like
Yeah.
I'm not into all of the
like the subliminal messaging and
correct.
Yeah.
And so like it was hard for me to follow.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think it was decent. I don't think it was obviously not even close to the best halftime show ever by any means. I think there were probably worse ones, but it was all right.
What do you think?
Oh, my favorite halftime
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl? Probably when I was a kid, it was Justin Timberlake and I believe Janet Jackson when he ripped off her and her nipple was exposed. That was probably my favorite one.
So you enjoyed
I think I was in the 8th grade. So
you were in the 8th grade and you saw your first set of boobs.
Well, no. First off, if you recall historically, it was just her left areola that was exposed.
But in your mind, you thought you won.
I didn't think I won. I thought it was a great performance.
Okay.
But what's your favorite halftime show?
I don't know.
I mean, they should have brought back Beyonce. Her Christmas special was incredible. We've talked about it.
I would say Beyonce, not the one where she wore the black leather suit.
Mm-hmm.
The other one. I forget which one that was.
Josh just wrote in and said halftime was 10 out of 10 for the underlying messages. You need to get with us because we...
Yeah, Josh, you
need
need
to explain it to us.
You're going to need to write it out.
Write it out for us. We'll have to get on a little FaceTime with you after and figure that out.
Because, like, I didn't understand the messages.
Because I saw, like, TikToks, and, like, it'd be like, oh, it was about this. And then another TikTok was like, no, it was actually about this. And it's just like, who on TikTok is telling the truth here? You know?
Yeah, I'm not up with the times like that.
No, I'm too old.
But, like, I thought the whole point was to diss Drake. But, like, some of, like, the political and, like, history type of
right,
like,
and I think that's what I'm missing is like those messages.
Yeah, I'm not. I am having like. Granted, I didn't really pay much attention to the halftime show because music wise, it wasn't
Right.
what.
Yeah, based on
I
the music, wasn't a huge fan.
I did like SZA.
Yep. I also loved that special appearance from one of the Williams sisters.
Serena?
Yeah, a little sea walk that she was doing. She killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it. You know what also was killed? Absolutely murdered that day as well? All the food you made.
I did make a lot of good
Kenny
food.
went ham on food for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
What was your favorite
My
thing?
favorite, the sliders. I probably had about 6 of them.
Wow.
They were delicious. She made sliders.
And you thought, oh, we only need 1 pack.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, we each get 3, and because there were 4 of us. And you're like, I've seen you eat an entire pack of these. And I was like, all right, what do I do? Grab another one.
No,
she knows me too well.
The
we got
24.
the 24 pack, but.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was all right. It was all right. It was all right.
Yeah. No, I did make a lot of food.
Yep. It was good. It was delicious.
So, no, that was good. Super Bowl, all in all, with it being the second Philly Super Bowl and the first one that they won was against the Patriots, that's kind of like, bleh. But outside of that, happy for them.
Yeah.
Chiefs looked terrible.
They were terrible.
And I've said it all year, and my Aunt Tam is a Chiefs fan.
Yep. Love you, Tam.
And I got other family members that are Chiefs fans. I don't know why. It's a waste of time, in my opinion.
God, dog.
But I've said all season is they haven't looked like anything special. And everybody's like, they're so good, their defense,
right.
Their offensive line, Mahomes. And I'm like, yeah, but like when you think of Super Bowl champions, you're either thinking of a massive upset or you're thinking of the people that just blow everybody out of the water.
Yep.
And like Philly they had ups and downs all season long.
Yep.
They didn't have a great season.
Right.
So
yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan of.
I also lost a nasty parlay. I had 1 leg left and it was Hunt, right? I needed Hunt for like another 31.
Yeah, and I
more
told you that was
yards.
that was going to be the one leg that made you lose.
I was just following my boy Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
And it was close. I could have won big money. 2 out of the 4 legs quickly done.
Yep. And I didn't win any squares at work.
Yeah.
Because we had squares, so that kind of stunk.
Thanks, Hunt. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was unscripted. We weren't going to talk about that, but
yeah, the Super Bowl, no.
Super Bowl, no.
Overall, good company.
Yep, it was good.
Overall,
great food.
I would say it was pretty decent.
Yep.
I think my favorite was the dip.
The spinach one?
Yeah, the Julie
very
dip.
Good. Very good.
That was Julie's recipe.
Yeah, and you also made like garlic knots in the shape of a football.
Yeah, I did garlic knot football.
Yeah, it was great.
That was pretty cool.
It was great.
Some would say that was pretty good.
Some would say. But you've got some fam coming to town, eh?
Yeah, my family's coming here. Which, it's crazy. I've lived away from home for 5 years.
Yep.
Almost 6.
Dang, you're getting old.
Getting old.
Getting old.
Yeah, so I've lived away from home for almost 6 years come the fall. And my family has always been in Vermont. My younger brother's out in Montana. We've talked about it briefly in previous episodes about, like, our families, where they're at, different, like, lifestyles. I have 2 nephews and a beautiful niece, and my sister and her husband, they live in Vermont. My parents live in Vermont. Your parents live in Vermont.
Yep.
But in 2 weeks, my sister, her husband, and their oldest son, my oldest nephew, are coming down to look at homes.
Come and look at houses.
Mm-hmm.
Not a vacation property.
Nope.
A home.
A home.
A home, as in they're moving.
Yes.
Which is crazy to think about.
And then the week after, my parents are coming to look at houses as well.
Not vacations, homes. Homes. Everybody moving.
Yeah. So it's still in the works.
Yep. But it's exciting. I'm excited.
It's very, very, very exciting, especially for me, because I've said ever since I left Vermont is there will be a day where I start to have my own family, and I would never...
Right. And I mean, we talked about it, like...
I would never want to be away from my family if I were to do that. And
like, the thought of us raising a family, like, here, when all of our family's back in Vermont, just isn't what either of us would want.
Right. And so, obviously, Vermont is not ideal for several different reasons.
I'll say the first one, weather.
Weather. My job doesn't translate well when it comes to a seasonal position. Just, I would say, quality of life.
Quality of life. Like, don't get us wrong. We both love Vermont.
Yeah, we love our hometown. It's
absolutely beautiful. Like, our hometown is great. We love our hometown. It's just super, super, super expensive to live there.
Yeah.
The seasons are obviously tough and things that we were trying to get away from, especially with Kenny being in the golf industry. You can't golf when there's 3 feet of snow on the ground and it's negative 15 out.
Yeah, they're in the middle of a snowstorm right now.
Don't miss that. Vermonters and anybody where it was cold, it was 68 today? Mm-hmm. 68 degrees. Yeah.
Yep. We actually sat out on the back porch.
We did. It was windy. We had a little tornado going on, but
yeah, a little wind, but
a little windnado.
But it was nice and warm.
Like both of us, when we've talked about raising a family, like we were thinking we're probably gonna have to move back to Vermont at some point. And it wasn't like a oh damn. It was more of like a we want to raise a family with our families, and if all of our families in Vermont, then that's what we're gonna do.
Yep. So the first grouping is my sister and her husband and my nephew Harry, and then the week after is my parents, and they'll be here for a little bit longer because it's also my dad's 60th birthday when they're here. So it's awesome, and it back-to-back weekends with the family being here is going to be really nice to just have them around, and it's very exciting for them because none of them, other than my sister, she lived in Massachusetts, but none of them have lived outside of the state of Vermont.
Right, and I know your dad is ready.
Yeah, get me out there tomorrow.
Robbie is ready to go. And then my parents come down in May. Mm-hmm. My parents come down not to necessarily look at houses or homes, but they're coming down for the Coca-Cola 600, which we got them tickets for Christmas. So they'll be here in May. Mm-hmm. And I have a feeling, because they're here for a little longer, I know they're watching, and I haven't really said this to them yet, but I think they're going to take that opportunity to kind of look themselves. I think so. My dad retires in August. And I think my thought process is they'll start looking as well, because I think they will end up down here as well. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I don't think it'll happen nearly as fast as your family.
No,
but I do think they'll end up down this way as well.
My sister and my mom own a salon. They own a business, and they've listed it for sale. So
that's big.
It's serious stuff.
Because I knew, I was like, well, they've got the business, so how is that going to work? And then you're like, oh yeah, they've got it up for sale. And I was like, oh damn, this is real.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's super exciting. Selfishly, it's very exciting for us.
Right.
Not for selfish reasons of now we don't have to do anything, but selfishly, no, we get to
have them out on the boat on the weekend. Go get dinners, celebrate birthdays,
Yeah, being able to be around them. I mean, especially for me, it's been a flight for the past 6 years to see anybody in my family.
Right.
And it's harder for all of them because of where they're at. It's not cheap to fly to Burlington.
Right.
Or out of Burlington, but my sister has her family, so it's a little bit harder for her to come to me. She came down and visited me, with her family once when I was in Florida, and then by herself right before I moved to North Carolina.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for my brother. Is he's out west in Montana, and it's hard to get out there as well. I've been out there a couple of times since he's moved.
Yeah.
But selfishly, I'm very excited. But it comes with a lot of stuff. My sister has 3 kids, and my parents are getting close to the retirement age. My mom's stepping away from doing hair, which it's been almost 30-ish years that she's been doing that. So, changing their lifestyles and, experiencing new things. They'll be in a completely different environment, demographic.
And thinking about your sister and her husband moving down with the kids, it's not as easy as just like, oh, let's find a house that we like. They have to worry about schools. They want to find, neighborhoods. They want to find, things for not just themselves. So it's
and it's big decisions because my sister and my brother-in-law also have, they have other parents. My sister it has her dad's side of the family. They have my brother-in-law Justin's side of the family. They have their friends.
Right.
Their life is, to a sense, like my sister has another sister and another brother and,
right.
Their families and stuff like that. So it's a big and hard decision. But like we were just saying, is like quality of life,
right.
And, how much the state is changing for a lot of different reasons, and it's expensive. Vermont's in a very,
that's
very,
the thing.
very
like,
expensive
money
state.
goes so much further here. There's so much more to do. Granted, it's a lot busier, and but it kind of almost not necessarily anchors us, but it kind of digs our roots in here a little bit more as well with family coming down, because obviously we don't want to be like, all right, enjoy North Carolina. We're moving to California. Like,
right.
Don't get me wrong. If an opportunity comes up that is, once in a lifetime, like we'll obviously address that. But this kind of really makes us, dig our roots in a little bit more. And, like I said, I think
even being driving distance from family is like, say, in 5 years I get a job at Pinehurst.
Right.
And like, okay, so I'll be an hour and a half, 2 hours from you. Is like, that's a car ride.
Way, way easier than getting on a 3-hour flight.
And so like, and I'm not saying that will happen because I very much like enjoy my job. I enjoy where we are at.
Right.
But like, I explained to them, and like, it's not even a selling point. It's just common knowledge is, there's so many different reasons of why it's a good reason to leave Vermont and, explore different places that will benefit for anybody. Is like, you have maybe 5 restaurants to pick from.
I know. That's one of the things I always talk about.
And like in Vermont, there's very limited like fast food.
Right.
Like and it's not about like fast food, but like
just options.
Options. And then you come to a place like Charlotte and you're looking at like 500 options versus 5.
Right.
And, there's more things to do, like
sporting events, music, just museums, like so much more stuff to get involved with than Vermont. And again, we love Vermont. Like, if I could take one thing from Vermont and have it here, it would be the lake. Yeah. I love that lake. Yeah. Like, growing up on it, always took it for granted. I drove on East Lake Shore every single morning to get to school. Lake was always there. Thought it was like, oh yeah, cool, I live by a lake. But like, our high school was on a lake. Our phys ed program, we went out on the lake. And then as I got older, I'm like, man, this lake is absolutely incredible. When I got a boat, it was like, I love this lake. It's massive. We go over to New York for dinner. We go, to different parts of Vermont on the boat. It's just so massive and beautiful. That's the biggest thing of Vermont, other than the people, obviously, that I miss the most. Yeah. I freaking love that lake.
And I grew up like right next to the lake.
Right.
So it's just like, there's so many things about Vermont that I love. I love that it's like very like farm to table lifestyle. Like you are in your own little bubble depending on where you are. It's very small town. But
I feel like you can get those same vibes 15 minutes one direction from us right now.
Yeah. No,
and that's
absolutely.
what I love too.
Absolutely. And so I think that no matter where you go, you're going to always find like somewhere that it's a small town vibe, unless if you live in the city. And like that was a big reason of why we live where we do within Charlotte. Yeah. Is I was like, I'm not going to live in the city. Right. I'm not going to find myself in traffic that bad. Right. I find myself in traffic just because of the schools.
Right.
But it's the same thing. And, there's so many things that we're excited for, but it will be nice to have them here and actually, get to see the things that, like, a couple weeks ago, I went and looked at a couple of places for my sister, and it will be good for her and, like, her family to see, those areas.
In the flash kind of thing, yeah.
Because, like, I may hear and understand what she wants, but she has to feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I'm very excited for all of them. I'm excited for my parents to have them here because the only time that everybody's been here since you've been here too is Thanksgiving. So.
Which was awesome. And like to think that we could have, more family events like that at an easier way is awesome. Like I love that. I love that. And then, my parents, obviously my sister lives out in Chicago, my brother lives out west. So it's, a little bit easier for them to come to us compared to like your sister and her family. And I think when my parents get down here, they'll start looking as well. But I think it'll be a little bit easier for them because they're totally fine with renting. Like they don't mind living in an apartment. Like they could live in an apartment, a townhouse, and they'd be okay with that because they want to continue to travel and possibly get a different style camper and still, see some of the country and not give that up. But I truly think they'll take, because when they were down here, when I moved down here, they were looking at freaking houses.
Yeah. No, I know.
It'd be great, Robin and Stacy, Riley.
Yeah, Robin Stace Riley, not Robin Stace Hamblett, but
no, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited for them to come down and take a look. Your sister and brother-in-law and your parents. It'll be nice. Mm-hmm. It'll be great to have them close.
It'll be good. They're bringing my oldest nephew Harry, and I'm very excited to have him here.
Son.
So, the weekend that they do get here. I do have a golf tournament on Saturday, so I'm kind of bummed about that, but it'll be good just knowing that they're even here.
Right.
So that is something that we are looking forward to together, and we know that it's going to come with a lot of change for them and a lot of change for us.
Yeah.
Because right now we kind of just live in our little bubble.
Right. But I think it'll be so good. Like, hey, we're going on the boat. You guys want to come? Or like, hey, let's grab dinner. Or hey, it's so-and-so's birthday. We're doing something.
Right. And like that's something I'm not used to.
Right.
I've gone 6 years. It was just like.
And I've only been down here for less than a year, and like my parents lived in the same apartment building as me. My dad would come down and watch hockey, so it's been a huge adjustment, for me to be away from my family and friends.
And in hindsight, for me, it's really been 10 years. Because I left home at 18 to go to college.
That's true.
And I was home for less than a year when you and I lived together.
Right.
And then moved and hadn't been back since.
Yeah.
So, like, just even the thought of, like, it's a lot. And, like, me and my sister just had this conversation the other week. And she was like, this is a big adjustment for you. And I'm like, yeah. And then, like, the more I think about it, I'm like, holy smokes, yeah.
Absolutely.
It was like, but, to be honest, out of all of it, like, I have a really good relationship with both of my siblings, and, like, I'm very excited for my sister to be here, but my niece and my nephews, that is my...
It's a big one.
That is my kryptonite when it comes to anything in this world, so I am beyond excited to even have the, possibility to...
Be closer to them.
Go pick them up at school, do the fun stuff, be the fun aunt year-round rather than...
Whenever you're there kind of thing.
Whenever I'm home.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Big news.
Big news.
Big news for the family, big changes, big transitions, and we're in the early stages of it, but,
It's moving along. It'll be here before you know it.
I know.
But another person that needs to come down, or up, I should say, and get some boat time is Deputy Smitty, a good friend of mine, through streaming. And for those of you who are watching us right now, we are filming live on Twitch. If you're listening to us in the car, every Sunday we film this live on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/the Lounge. So if you hear us interacting with names that you're kind of confused to who we were talking to or about, it's filmed live and people like to chat with us. So make sure you're joining us on Sundays when we film it live. But Rose and Thorn. What was your rose and your thorn this week?
My rose?
Yep.
Were my flowers.
Your flowers?
Were my actual roses.
Yep.
I made scalloped potatoes for the first time.
You can't... That was literally going to be my rose.
Are you so mad at me? Because
I'm so mad at you. I was going to, hype up the potatoes, but you just brought them up.
No, my rose was the meal that I made for Valentine's Day for my lover boy.
That's me.
And, my thorn, the weather,
yep,
I would say, has been a big thorn. in our small dispute on Monday was my thorn.
Agreed. I will say that's my thorn as well. It was our dispute.
Our dispute.
But no, I actually think my true rose was the good news that I got about possibly actually moving forward with getting a military retirement.
Yes. You want to tell the people? Give them an update?
So, obviously, I was away for the military a couple weekends ago, and finally got some good news in the forefront of kind of my status with Uncle Sam. And after some more meetings and some litigation, I suppose, it looks like they're going to be moving forward, working on and submitting a request for a military retirement for myself. So that means, benefits for the rest of my life and, our family's lives. And I just got word from the VA that my most recent claim will most likely be increased from 70% overall VA disability to 100%, which, again, helps with some amazing benefits and reimbursements for the rest of my life, which I'm very thankful for and have been not necessarily fighting, but just trying to figure out the best way to reach that end goal. So very, very, very good news. It'll take some time to get there for sure, and it's not guaranteed by any means, but it's one step closer to separating from the military and continuing to work on the things that are important most to me and kind of moving on with my life in that regard.
My whole family's watching, and they have not been told that news yet.
Oh.
Getting messages as we speak.
Yes, so I might, in the next 6 or 8 months, be Master Sergeant Riley retired. We'll see. Nothing is in stone. The military and the government work in mysterious ways, so I might just be admin separated or whatever else. But again, the overarching goal is to separate from the military and move on with my life. And if they do decide that I am eligible for a medical retirement and to retire early.
And we don't have to elope.
And we don't have to elope, correct.
That was making me nervous.
There were some possible thoughts on if they separated me this way, I wouldn't get benefits for me and my future family if I wasn't married. But it seems like that is not the case. And don't have to worry about that.
Bring it in.
Not yet, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Someone asked her at work if I was going to pop the question on Valentine's Day, and she said, "Yeah, no, absolutely not." And I know way better than that.
I would shove him over on his knee.
I would never do that. Not on Valentine's Day.
You imagine I just straight up
roundhouse kicked me in the side of the head?
Yeah.
That'd be wild. That'd make a great clip. But yeah, those are our Rose and Thorn. We've been kind of doing that new segment of what was your Rose of the week? What was your Thorn of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
Incredible. So exciting stuff. It'll take a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. They have to put all my packages together and send them to a med board, and the VA has to do this and this and that and this and that. And I got to go to this doctor and see this doctor and mash it all together. And then somebody at the higher power needs to say, "Yep, good to go," or "Nope, not happening." And then.
But if it was easy, then everyone would do it.
Correct. Yep.
So
I definitely think it could be easier, but I'm not a 4-star general, and I can't make those decisions.
Correct.
Nor do I want to be a 4-star general. I hear they get paid great, but not interested.
Yep.
Not interested. But it is time.
Build a bridge and get over it.
Build a bridge and get over it.
Yeah, suckers.
No, we got some time here at the end of the podcast for some write-ins from our live Twitch audience. So if you have any questions about today's podcast, previous podcasts, situations you might be in, or just questions you want to ask us, let us know. And if you don't have a question, make sure you do !Burt, !Kenny, Instagram in the chat. Those are how you get our own Instagrams.
Are you having a moment?
And
oh, yay!
The podcast Instagram.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Why does Burt want to retire? I necessarily don't want to retire, Bob, but unfortunately I've got some medical stuff that is preventing me from being healthy and moving on to greener pastures with my life. And retiring medically is probably the best option for me.
Joss.
Joss says I'm broke.
He broke.
He broke in a lot of ways. He broke. Joss is broke too. Joss is about to be medically retired too. Hoorah. Just put that out on the internet. Sorry about that, Joss.
Way to put her out there for the people.
Welcome to the podcast, baby. Welcome to the podcast.
I think that we should get her on here soon.
I know. I need to figure out the ways to do it over here. When are we coming to Montana? I want to go to Montana ASAP. We've talked about it with each other before of like, I want to take me out to Montana. I want to see it. I had friends go to college out there. Always talked about how beautiful it was. You've talked about how beautiful it was. I'm down.
See, so Madison wrote in. My brother and her are watching right now. Madison is my brother's girlfriend. I will say this, not until that snow stops.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love my brother more than anything. I've been out there for Christmas one time with him. And those were in the COVID days. But that was probably my last winter moment in Montana until we eventually go out there maybe for Christmas one year.
Yeah. I'd love to see it.
But maybe around the time of my birthday, something like that, we'll come out and see y'all. So I don't know. They were sending Snapchats to the family group chat, and I'll have to replay it because, like I was saying, I'm very close with both my brother and my sister. But my brother and I are like 2 years in age difference, and we always talk shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my sister's like practically like 30 years older than me, and I still talk shit with her.
Yeah.
She's really not 30 years older than me. She's older, but.
Did you just say she was 30 years older and I just agreed?
Yeah, like nothing.
Yeah, that's not true.
Oh, gosh. But what other questions you got? Shadow Alchemist, thank you. Yes, that was one thing that's always been a struggle is trying to find information that is actually true. You know, you read one thing, it says, oh, no, you need this, or, oh, no, you're not eligible for that, or you need to have this, or you need to have that. But trying to get the accurate information about Uncle Sam, the VA, can be challenging at times, but working through that with a lot of great connections that I'm lucky to have.
The proposing questions continue to re-show.
My goodness, they love to ask. Bob the Goober, how long have you guys been dating for, and are you going to propose soon? We're
not dating.
Been dating in my mind for roughly 5 years, but that is not the actual case. We're going on a year in March. Yep.
Of being officially
official
in a relationship.
Yep.
But yeah, no. A fixture of your imagination.
Guy can dream.
That's why you reach out.
Oh, is it real?
Oh, is it so real to me? Oh, I love you. I've always loved you.
Oh my God.
Grab my hand.
Is this a soap opera?
Never let go.
Oh my God.
Cut that out. Knock it off.
You knock it off.
I'm going to start smacking your hand.
No, you're not. Don't do that.
Smack your hand. Oh, I'm so lucky to have you.
What other questions y'all got before we get on out of here for the evening? Not a question, but thank you both for being real. It's great to be a part of this family and love the silly conversations. Thank you both for everything. Well, Jeremy, thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot, man. That means we're doing something right.
Joss said, so if for anybody that is new here, Joss is your best friend.
My bestie, yep.
Your bestie for the restie.
Yep.
And she wrote in, the legit first thing he ever told me was the entire story of him and Jensen. It was meant to be.
Literally, because me and Jocelyn at first hated each other. Mm-hmm. And then we trauma bonded about our French bulldogs. And then we just started spilling our guts to each other. And I immediately was like, so there's this girl that I love. And she doesn't love me. And it's true. That's literally how it went down. McGillicuddy's Five Corners. We were drinking amaretto and ginger ale.
That is disgusting.
Delicious. Why do I wear the same socks every podcast? That's crazy.
Who?
Me.
Which one? Oh, because I do too.
Yeah.
I only have one pair of socks.
Yeah, I just have like straight.
Like one style of socks.
Yeah, one style of socks. It's just like either low cut black Nikes or high cut black Nikes.
My mom is in here listening right now, and she knows. And I'm like, I have a little bit of a sensory issue. I'm not gonna like out myself on everything that's wrong with me, but I have extreme sensory issues. I think we've talked about it.
Yeah, we have a little bit, yeah.
About, like, you'll, like, put your hand on, like, my leg or something, and you're, like, you'll do 2 swipes with your thumb, and I'll be like...
Anything, well, I know anything over 2 is too much.
Yeah.
So, like, if I put my hand, like, on her leg or something, like, sit on the boat, and I, like, you know, swipe my thumb, like, a couple too many times, or she'll wiggle her leg.
Yeah. No,
so I have to just, like, keep it.
Like, even at night, he'll, like, reach over, and he'll, like, do, like, 2 passes, like, run my back or something, and then, like, he'll go again, and I'm like, ugh, get off of me. But no, I am, like, a freak about my clothing, too. It's, like, no tags. There's a couple of shirts that I'll wear inside out.
Yep.
Because the seams don't hit the skin right, and so I have to turn them. It's my Lululemon shirts.
Yep.
All of the seams on, like, the arms, because it's all fitted material, hit a certain point, freaks me out. So
wears them inside out.
Wears them inside out. And then, but, yeah.
Yeah. Sensory issues.
I wear the same socks, and my mom
right.
can attest to it. I've worn the same socks since I was 14.
Yeah.
They're KB socks from Costco.
Yep.
Not black, not gray, white.
White. Megaloo said, first time I've gotten to watch the podcast. I really appreciate y'all being so down to earth and just being your real selves. We appreciate that, Meg. Thank you. That's exactly what we want to do. We want people to see us for us. I stream, obviously, full-time, so people get a little bit of an insight of who I am. And people, you know, always get to see Kenny when she pops in, but this is kind of our opportunity to show you who we are, what we're about, and we appreciate that.
Any last questions?
Any last questions? Yep, Josh says with the Polaroid pic that we took. Yep, had it in my car.
Still does.
This is the one.
Got you in a lot of trouble in your relationships.
It did, yeah. Yep, I had told her I'd throw it away.
And you didn't.
I didn't. Still have it. Now that you're getting out of the military, now that you're getting out, what are some military phrases you see yourself saying outside of the military? Oof. I don't know. Do I say anything military, like, in my norm that you think, like, stands out as, like, military?
Sometimes when we talk about, like, work,
Yep.
you'll phrase things in a sense of being like, okay, no, that's not how civilian world thinks or speaks on certain situations. It's like
what? Like, is there certain words or just like in general?
No, because most of the time I just let them like slide off the back.
Got it. I do say Raj a lot. Josh mentions that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you like do work and like when you're streaming, it's like part of like the way that you speak in your character.
Yeah.
Just because you play a cop.
Right.
So it kind of like translates a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
But not when we're speaking or.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think I know what you're talking about when we like talk about like your work. I think in general of like, not necessarily like chain of command, but like the way the chain works and like expectations. But yeah. I think that, I mean, there's always going to be a part of me that's military. I'm very proud of my service and all that jazz, but I don't necessarily know if there'll be like terms that I use. I use Raj a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I noticed much of it, but no, yeah. I think, no.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. B. Holt's in chat. We love you, brother. But that that wraps it up for episode 12 of the BK Lounge. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us and spending your Sunday night with us. We love doing it. We thoroughly enjoy it. That's all I have pending any questions. That's another one that we say in the military.
Yep.
We end like that. Or like if you say something. I just want to piggyback off of what Jensen said. Commanders love to do that. High-ranking people. You'll be like a commander's call. You're like in formation on concrete. It's like 82 degrees. They're standing on a podium. And they'll talk and they'll talk and they'll talk and they'll talk. And then like the second in command will get up. And they're like, oh, I'm just going to make this quick. But I just want to really piggyback off of so-and-so. And it's just like, and you're just standing there like, God, dog. Raj, heard. Yes. All we're looking for is dismissed. Audi. It's another one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, military folk would. But we're going to get on out of here. Again, end of episode 12. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for allowing us to be who we are. Thank you for diving into our lives. Thank you for letting us take a little hiatus because we needed it. We
need a little reset.
But we'll catch you next Sunday. Feel free to write in on our any of our social media platforms of things you want us to talk about.
Give us a shout. Also, our TikTok.
It's kind of popping off, and we haven't really advertised it.
We haven't advertised it because...
I think it's getting close to the time frame to change the name, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah, it probably is. We will put it in our social media of our TikTok page. We'll add it to our website, so go check that out. Keep your eyes peeled. Some of you have seen it kind of pop up on your page just because we started posting, trying to get our feelers out, but...
Kind of took off.
It's kind of
We're getting like
off.
3,000 to 5,000 views per thing. We've got just a handful of followers, so that's getting out there. So share our social medias, share the podcast website, thebkloungepod.com.
Give us a follow.
Like, share, subscribe, download, all that good stuff helps us meet new friends on our podcast. So we appreciate you. We love you. And any last words, Kenneth?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Y'all be good now.
This has been the BK Lounge Podcast with Burt and Kenny. We hope you enjoyed your time diving deep in on wild topics, listening to crazy stories, and hanging out with us. We'll see you next week live on Twitch. Be sure to check out our website for all our social links at www.thebkloungepod.com. Y'all be good now, and we'll see you next time.